Welcome back, soap fans. Today is a phenomenal day to dive into the absolute madness erupting in Port Charles. We have exclusive, jaw-dropping spoilers that will fundamentally change the landscape of our favorite daytime drama forever. Buckle up, because the tectonic plates of the Corinthos Empire are about to shatter. The absolute biggest bombshell in the history of Port Charles has just been dropped, and the shockwaves are going to level the Corinthos Empire to the ground. Josslyn has finally returned from the hellish depths of a WSB black site in Jakarta, but the man who walked back into town is not the leather-clad enforcer we have known for decades. The ultimate twist is here, and it is catastrophic. Josslyn did not come home to take up his mantle as Sonny Corinthos' lethal right-hand man. He did not return to stand guard outside Carly Spencer's door. In a move that absolutely nobody saw coming, Josslyn has returned to Port Charles to officially take over the seat of power as the brand new director of the WSB, permanently replacing the disgraced Ross Cullum. The highly anticipated reunion took place at the Metro Court, a setting that was supposed to be a joyous celebration of survival and loyalty, but instantly transformed into a chilling theater of betrayal. Sonny Corinthos and Carly Spencer were waiting with bated breath, fully expecting their fiercely loyal soldier and best friend to walk through those doors and restore order to their chaotic lives. Instead, the man who approached their table was unrecognizable. Gone was the signature black t-shirt and the quiet, deferential nod to the mob boss. Josslyn arrived wearing a razor-sharp, impeccably tailored government suit, his posture radiating a terrifying new brand of absolute, unyielding authority. The sheer visual contrast was enough to suck the oxygen straight out of the luxurious dining room. When Josslyn finally delivered the news, he did not soften the blow. He looked Sonny dead in the eye, devoid of any of the brotherly warmth that has defined their relationship for a quarter of a century, and dropped the ultimate nuclear bomb. He calmly and coldly announced his new identity as the director of the World Security Bureau. The silence that followed was deafening, a suffocating void where decades of shared history, spilled blood, and unbreakable vows were instantly incinerated. Josslyn made it brutally clear that his era as the Corinthos family's ultimate weapon was permanently over. He is no longer a soldier in the criminal underworld. He is the supreme commander of the international intelligence agency that has relentlessly hunted them. For Sonny Corinthos, this revelation is not just a surprise. It is the most profound, soul-crushing betrayal he has ever experienced in his entire life. The legendary mob boss of Port Charles sat frozen, his mind violently reeling as the horrific reality sank. The man who has taken countless bullets for him, the man who sacrificed his own freedom, his own children, and his own happiness to protect the Corinthos cartel, has just defected to the ultimate enemy. Sonny's initial disbelief rapidly morphed into a blinding, toxic rage. The psychological devastation of realizing that his greatest protector, his absolute most trusted confidant, is now the most powerful law enforcement official on the globe is enough to push Sonny over the edge of sanity. The strategic implications for Sonny's criminal empire are absolutely terrifying, and the mob boss knows it instantly. Josslyn knows every single vulnerability, every hidden offshore account, every buried body, and every secret alliance the Corinthos organization has ever possessed. He built the very defenses that keep Sonny out of federal prison. Now, that exact same man possesses the limitless resources, the tactical strike teams, and the global jurisdiction of the WSB. Sonny is completely and utterly exposed. The terrifying realization that Josslyn could dismantle his entire life's work with a single bureaucratic signature leaves Sonny feeling trapped, paranoid, and more dangerous than he has ever been. The line between brotherhood and warfare has been obliterated. While Sonny is consumed by the apocalyptic threat to his empire and his ego, Carly Spencer is experiencing a completely different, far more visceral nightmare. As Josslyn's chilling words echoed across the Metro Court table, Carly's blood ran ice cold. Her immediate thought did not go to Sonny's business. It went straight to her daughter. Josslyn Jax is already dangerously entangled with the WSB, having just struck a massive, life-altering deal with the mysterious agency leader known only as Z to secure Josslyn and Valentine's freedom. Carly has been fighting with every ounce of her being to rip Josslyn out of this lethal spy game, and now the trap has snapped shut in the most horrific way imaginable. Carly is a master strategist, and in that agonizing moment at the Metro Court, she instantly connects the terrifying dots. She realizes with absolute horror that this is the ultimate Machiavellian plot orchestrated by Z. Z did not just randomly pardon Josslyn. Z recruited him, broke him down, and rebuilt him into the perfect weapon. Carly knows exactly why Z placed Josslyn at the absolute top of the WSB hierarchy. It is the ultimate leverage. By making Jason the director, Z has guaranteed that Josslyn will never, ever leave the agency. How could Josslyn walk away when her beloved Uncle Jason is now the one calling the shots, the one issuing the orders, the one standing on the front? The sheer, unadulterated terror gripping Carly's heart is palpable. She realizes that Jason, the man she has trusted with her life and the lives of her children for decades, will now be the one actively pushing Josslyn deeper into the crosshairs of international. Jason is now Josslyn's commanding officer. He will be the one sending a college student into active war zones, into hostage situations, and into the line of fire. Carly looks at the cold, detached expression on Jason's face and realizes that the maternal safety net she thought he provided has been completely shredded. The man who used to protect her daughter from the shadows is now the very entity dragging her into the deadly spotlight. Jason, however, remains completely unfazed by the emotional devastation radiating from his former family. He fiercely defends his shocking new position, delivering a monologue that will go down in General Hospital history. He looks at Sonny and Carly and bluntly states that his harrowing, torturous time in the WSB black site in Jakarta changed him on a cellular level. The isolation, the brutality, and the sheer scale of the global threats he witnessed stripped away his blind, unquestioning loyalty to a local mob. He realized that his lethal skills, his tactical genius, and his unwavering discipline were being wasted on turf wars and shipping routes. He survived Jakarta for a reason, and that reason is not Sonny Corinthos. The metamorphosis of Jason is absolute and terrifying. He firmly declares that he now serves a much higher, far more crucial purpose than personal loyalty or mob code. He has taken the reins from the corrupt Roscolum to purge the WSB of its rot and turn it into the ultimate shield against global destruction. He is no longer bound by the petty, violent rules of Port Charles. He is bound by the law, by international security, and by a newfound moral absolute that completely excludes the Corinthos cartel. Jason's voice is devoid of apology. It is the voice of a man who has finally woken up from a decades-long trance and seized his true, terrifying potential. This unprecedented paradigm shift officially marks the violent, bloody end of the Stone Cold era. The right-hand man is dead. The director has arrived. For years, fans have wondered what it would take to finally sever the unbreakable bond between Sonny and Jason. We now have our answer. It took the absolute crucible of a black site prison and the manipulative genius of Z to rewrite Jason's. The dynamic that has anchored General Hospital for over 25 years has been completely inverted. The loyal servant has become the ultimate master, and the untouchable mob boss has suddenly become the ultimate target. The tension in the Metro Court reaches a boiling point as Sonny, unable to contain his venomous fury, lashes out, accusing Jason of being a traitor, a pawn, and a coward who sold his soul to the government. Sonny's aggressive posturing, which has intimidated countless enemies, falls completely flat against the immovable wall of Jason's new authority. Jason does not flinch. He does not raise his voice. He simply issues a chilling professional warning that the Corinthos organization is no longer under his protection. In fact, they are now operating under his direct, unforgiving jurisdiction. If Sonny crosses the line, Jason will not hesitate to order the strike that brings his empire crashing down. The implications of this confrontation are going to bleed into every single storyline on the campaign. Michael Corinthos, who has been spiraling into his own dark, manipulative plots regarding Willow and Chase, is going to find himself completely exposed without Jason's protective shadow. Dante Falconeri, a cop torn between the law and his mob father, now has to navigate a world where his father's greatest ally is the highest-ranking law enforcement official in the world. The entire power structure of Port Charles has been flipped upside down, shaken violently, and dropped onto a bed of nails. Nobody is safe, and absolutely nothing will ever be the same. As for Z, the mysterious and brilliant puppet master behind this entire seismic shift, their victory is absolute. By placing Jason at the helm of the WSB, Z has neutralized the threat of the Corinthos mob, secured the unwavering loyalty of Josslyn Jax, and installed a director who possesses the lethal edge required to clean up Roscolum's catastrophic messes. Z played a game of multi-dimensional chess while Sonny and Carly were playing checkers, and the resulting checkmate is a masterpiece of psychological warfare. The WSB is now the most terrifying force in Port Charles, and it wears the familiar, stoic face of a man they all used to love. This is no longer a story about mobsters fighting for territory. This is an epic, scorched earth war between the absolute power of the law and the desperate, cornered remnants of the underworld. Sonny Corinthos is preparing to fight the most vicious battle of his life, not against a rival family, but against the very ghost of his own creation. Carly Spencer is preparing to wage a maternal war against the entire global intelligence apparatus to save her daughter from Jason's. The battle lines have been drawn in permanent, indelible ink right on the tables of the Metro. Who will strike the first fatal blow in this new, terrifying world order, and who will be left standing when the smoke finally clears? Let us delve even deeper into the sheer, suffocating panic that is currently paralyzing Carly Spencer. For years, she has relied on Jason as her ultimate failsafe, the one man who would drop absolutely everything, including his own flesh and blood, to rescue her and her children from the consequences of their own reckless action. Now, sitting across from this impeccably dressed, emotionally impenetrable WSB director, Carly realizes that her safety net has been weaponized again. She looks into Jason's eyes and searches desperately for a flicker of the man who loved her, the man who held her together through countless tragedies. Instead, she finds a chilling, bureaucratic void. Jason is no longer her savior. He is a government official who views her daughter as a highly valuable, expendable asset in a global war. The realization that Jason will use Josslyn's fierce loyalty and lethal new skills to execute WSB agendas makes Carly physically sick to her stomach. She knows that Z's manipulative genius has trapped them all in a labyrinth with no exit, and Jason is standing guard at the only door. The final moments of this catastrophic Metro Court confrontation are destined to be etched into the minds of viewers forever. Before turning his back on the only family he has known for decades, Jason delivers a final, devastating ultimatum that officially ignites the coming war. He leans in, his voice dropping to a lethal, commanding whisper, and informs Sonny that the era of looking the other way is permanently over. He explicitly warns the mob boss that the WSB will no longer tolerate the Corinthos cartel's collateral damage. Every shipment, every payoff, every violent retaliation will now be heavily monitored by the full, terrifying weight of international. Jason stands up, buttons his suit jacket with a chillingly corporate precision, and walks out of the restaurant, leaving Sonny and Carly drowning in the wreckage of their shattered reality. The undisputed enforcer of Port Charles is dead, and the most dangerous director in WSB history has just taken his. Are you ready for the ultimate showdown between the mob and the man who knows all their secrets?